Welcome, everybody. I'm Professor Holland, and I wanted to go through my Blackboard page with you so that you can go ahead and get started on your very first assignment, which is due 1 week from the Sunday, which is the day I'm recording, actually, the 30th of January. While we're talking about assignments, please note that all assignments are due on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Please do not wait until the last minute to turn them in, or they will be counted late. So please try to get all of that in on time. First of all, I wanted to show you, always check the announcements, and the announcements are right here. And notice that I have a welcome to you. I know that you probably hate to have people read to you, and I'll be reading to you throughout this video. So let me just tell you that you need to, I know that a lot of you are taking this because you like the flexibility, plus you want the college credit before you go to university. So remember, though, that time management and the ability to focus are two of the most important things to consider when studying and completing your work. Actually, those are two soft skills that will help you successfully navigate through academics, your profession, and your personal life. One of the things that, and the second paragraph talks about this, you've heard the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and I really don't like that expression, but it's true. So let's go with it. If you have a problem with something, or you don't understand something, I guarantee you 5 other people don't. Please, even if it's a personal email, if it's in a discussion board, whatever it's in, please speak up. And this will become even more important as you go to university and as you get into your chosen career, or at least the first one that you want to tackle before you go on to your second career, because jobs are really changing these days. So just remember, don't sit back and just feel sorry for yourself because you don't get it. You're getting behind. Speak up. Let me know. I will admire you so much if you do that. I admire the ones who speak up and want help. After all, you may not be paying for it, but your school district is. But that doesn't matter. Please speak up. Okay, so let's now go. That was your announcements. And the second thing is your syllabus, which I know that you've been waiting for. And I don't want to go over all of it, but I'll go over some of it. The 3 different ways to get a hold of me is to post a question, to ask your instructor, schedule a virtual meeting, or email me. If you notice under, where is my communication? If I go down here, under communication, if you hit email my professor, it'll go directly to me. Just say question about whatever it might be. Okay, so again, the things I've gone over with is announcements, syllabus, and then if you go down to communication, email my professor. You don't have to look me up, just click on that, and there you go. You should have already taken English 1301 or the equivalent of that. Let's get on down to here. These are pretty much standard things. So, but this isn't. The graded work. Okay, so this is your summary. You'll have MindTap, auto-graded activities worth 200 points. Discussion boards, teamwork, participation, e-campus assignments, 150 points. Your annotated bibliography will be worth 200 points. Your argument will be a classical argument, will be 200 points, and your proposal, your problem solution paper will be your longest paper that you'll have, and it's worth 250. So I'm on a 1,000 point system here. So if you want a perfect score, it'll be 1,000. Now there will be other times that I will give y'all up to 30 extra points. So you could get a 1,030. However, that would only show as a 100 on your grades or an A. So, but for those of y'all who maybe there are a couple of assignments you didn't do too well on and you got in the 70s or 80s, it's possible for you to get an A still. And of course, this is pretty standard too. These are the different things that you will be graded on. The first one is the mind tap. I can show you that here in just a little bit. Your discussion board, and in fact, you're going to start, you will have a mind tap assignment. You will have a discussion board assignment for this week. And then these right here, these three right here, we'll go over later. Those are your major assignments. This is 200, 200, 250. So that's the lion's share of your grade there. One of the first things that I wanted to let you know, I'll go back up to that, but this is when these are the endings, and I will give you more specific details about dates, but this shows you we're going to do the annotated bibliography last. Usually we do it first, but we've decided that it might be better to do that one last. But the credible sources will go all the way to the end of our 5th week. Classical argument will be due the end of the 8th week. Proposal solution, 13th, and the annotated bibliography will be at the end of the course. Now, this is another thing that's very important that you listen to right now. You should have in the required course materials, if you elected the Include Ed program, and all of my students have done that in the past, so I'm hoping all of you have done that, then that means that this material is actually available for you already. You just need to enroll. So you will not be paying any money. And that's what this tells you. The name of the textbook is The Essentials of Writing, 10 Core Concepts. And I'll show you that here in just a minute, but 2 things that you will get from this: your textbook, which is electronic, and you'll also get activities in each chapter, as well as extended grammar activities. So this is just the layout of what all you're going to be doing this semester. But if you read on in here for more specifics, just stay up with the different units that we're doing. For example, you'll see right here, Unit 1, all of this, where it says coursework, all of this from this divider down to this divider will be due on Sunday, the 30th of January. Okay, so there is your syllabus. Then let's go on down to, taking that one out, Mind Tap. Okay, so you will, when you click on Mind Tap, and let me go back again. You don't see these 2 items. I'm looking for mine. It's just getting started, and then you'll just see Mind Tap. So click on that. Again, you probably have your Include Ed. Now, click on this, English 1302. And I believe it's going to ask you to somehow put your name in there, whatever the screen is. I think you have to have your ID number and all of that, but you don't have to pay for it. We won't be going to credible sources yet, but this is where you'll get your information. Should I show it to you? I guess I could. Okay, let's say on the first week of this, you're doing finding source material. So I tell you to read that, and then there are 7 activities that you have to do. So you click onto this. Now, we're not doing this the first week. All right, so then it will read, it will tell you what to do. You watch this video, then you have a video quiz. Now, the way you get to the video quiz, and some of them don't start out this soon with a video quiz, but you go to this V and you click on it. Okay, and then it says you will hit start the assignment now. And you know what's really interesting is that you can check your answer before you turn it in. So if it says which of the following is a general reference work, you might find in the reference area of a college library. Okay, well, actually, all of these would be in the reference center. So let's say I want to check my work before I submit it. That is correct. Okay, so I'm going to go on to number 2 and so on and so forth. You should get 100 on all of these. Now, again, you're not going to be working on that this time, but you will. Let me go back here. You will need that. Let me just go back to content. Okay, you will need that, and you'll need to know that in the weeks to come. But let me show you what I'm talking about with the grammar exercises. Okay, let's go back to this original screen. Go to optional grammar. Go to style. You will do the first 3. Okay, so you'll be doing word use, basic style, sentence variety. So let's look at word use. Those 3 are due on the 30th. Okay, so you get several attempts at this. So, oh, I didn't want to do that. Hold on, I'm sorry. We're not ready for that. Let me go back. Let's try this again. Style. All right. For some reason, is it waiting to load? Complete this auto-graded activity to learn strategies for avoiding common errors in word use, including wordy sentences, weak constructions, cliches, jargon, slang, and euphemisms, and sexist, biased, and exclusionary language. So what we're talking about is you can't beat a dead horse to death. That's a cliche. Idioms, things like that. He kicked the bucket. Well, what goes around comes around. Keep those kinds of things out. That's okay if you're writing fiction. It's not for these kinds of essays. So again, this is the first activity I'm doing. So I'm going to click on the first one. And it talks about bias. Compare each pair of words. Well, let's go up here. A good way to detect an author's bias is to be aware not only of the denotation of the words. Denotation means the literal Merriam-Webster dictionary meaning. Okay, so not only to know the denotation of the word he or she chooses, but also the connotation. What is the word between the lines? What added message is the author giving you by using that word? Denotation refers to the literal meaning or the primary dictionary definition of a word. For example, the denotative meaning of pig is a hoofed, domesticated animal, end quote. Okay. Connotation, on the other hand, refers to the associations or emotional meanings that people often connect with the word or connect a word with. The connotative meaning of the word pig might include a slob or a greedy person. So it wants you to compare each pair of words, determine which one has a negative meaning and which one has a positive. Okay, so is bold positive or negative? Let's talk about a person. If you say a person's a bold person, is that positive or negative? As opposed to the person is pushy, positive or negative? Well, bold is a positive, pushy is a negative. Okay, let's go to the next set. Finicky as opposed to selective. When I think of this, I think of a child sitting in front of his plate or her plate at the dinner table, staring down a bunch of Brussels sprouts. And the child doesn't want to eat those. Is the child being finicky or is the child being selective? Well, we know the child's being finicky, but in a way, probably we couldn't blame him. But finicky is negative, whereas selective means that he is a child of distinction and he knows good stuff from bad stuff, and that's bad stuff. So go ahead and go down this way. Now, keep in mind, all of these things that you are learning are going to help you in writing, because sometimes we pass on our own personal biases in our word choices and we don't even realize we're doing it. Our new set of this is a new section. Our new set of highly priced patio furniture was cheaply made. Well, okay, so which of the words here has a negative connotative meaning? Well, cheaply, I mean, cheaply is cheaply, but that means that it wasn't made with probably good materials or even craftsmanship. Read the following two sentences. The words in boldface have negative connotative meanings. For each sentence, select the word that has the same denotative meaning, but is more neutral. So my girlfriend is so scatterbrained, she's always losing things. So scatterbrained, you say that to a girl, you guys out there, you say that to a girl, I just move on to another girl because she probably won't like you very much. So what's a better way of saying scatterbrained? In other words, my girlfriend can't remember where she put her keys to her house. She never can remember where she put her glasses. Well, would it be muddled? That kind of sounds negative. Absent-minded? Maybe. I mean, there is a movie called The Absent-Minded Professor, and he's actually a genius. So that's a possibility. And what about witless, meaning that she doesn't have a clue? She's an idiot, in other words. Well, the best word would be absent-minded. I'm not saying, guys, that the girl will like what you just said, but you have a better chance with continuing your relationship with her if you say that rather than you say scatterbrained. Okay, so let me make sure. So you'll do that one, and I'm actually not going to save this, but that's not the only one. So there are all of these that you need to finish. And that's just for the first one. Let's go back. Well, okay. Well, it'll go ahead. Well, you know what? Maybe I just grade my assignment now. Okay, let me just get out of it. I don't want you to do that because I'm not finished. Okay, so let me go back if it'll let me. It doesn't. Okay, so that's the first of the three activities that you will do on Mind Tab. Go back to optional grammar, style. Okay, so the one that we just looked at was word use. and there were what, 4 or 5 activities. The next one is basic style, and there will be several activities for that one as well. This one here, complete all of those. And then finally, the third one, that you're still in style, okay? The third one is sentence variety, and I'm not going to click on that but anyway, it is automatically graded and it automatically goes in your grade book here. So be careful, do as many, try to take your time on it. I believe it said that it takes the highest of 3 scores, but we can go back over that later. So this, and this must be finished by January 30th by 11:59. Okay, so that is, let's go down here and I'll show you where I'm getting this. So here we go. Now that I've shown you MindTap, your MindTap grammar schedule is this. I just showed, actually it's Sunday the 23rd. I'm so sorry. The 23rd is when this is due. I'm so sorry. I'm so glad I'm looking at this. You need to finish these and turn them in by then. Then next week, due on the 30th, there are 2 left in word usage, and then you go to fragments and then you do fragment. And then on and on and on. Now, what some people do is they go, you know what, I got a day off from work, or I'm not feeling all that great. I'm gonna do several weeks at one time, get this all out of the way. Because if you do it and follow the schedule, you'll be finished around spring break. But you can do any of these assignments ahead that I've posted. Now, unfortunately, this week, I don't have any for week 2 yet, but please feel free to go ahead and do the MindTap grammar assignments. And where did I find that? Well, remember I showed you MindTap, that y'all need to click on that and enroll. Excuse me. And then under MindTap is the schedule. Okay, let's move on to this week, the 23rd. And as I'm doing this, I see that I put the wrong, should have put the 23rd. I'm sorry. Okay. This right here is the welcome video that you're listening to right now. So that's where that is. So once you finish that, once you finish this, well, actually, I guess my welcome video, then I want you to move on to the discussion board, which again, it's right here. Here's your orientation. Here's your discussion board. So click on that. Okay, this is what you're supposed to do. Please introduce yourself to the class. Include your academic short-term and long-term goals, and if you desire, what your interests and hobbies are. Because this is an online class, any information that you think will help us connect will be great. Reply to each classmate's post. Your responses must be substantial, at least 25 words in length. So let's say Tony says, well, I'm interning at Toyota dealership in Irving, and I want to work on Teslas and when I'm done with my education. And so Michael says, oh, well, I think that's really cool. And that's all he says in his response. Well, Michael's not going to get credit for that. You go into more detail. There have been some really good relationships forged in these classes. And in fact, this last semester, I went to the wedding of a couple who was in my class, 5 years ago? And they met in my class, and it took them 5 years to get to the altar. So anything that I'm not saying that y'all are going to marry each other because you're in high school, but who knows? I'm just saying, let us know about you. Don't tell us things you're not comfortable telling us. But anyway, that's what I want y'all to do. So you'll give me a post. You can't answer another person's post until you first posted. And you'll find that out if you try to do that. So, all right. So that discussion board is after the unit 1 thing. Okay, number 2, also due on the 23rd. Watch, actually, again, this is the welcome video, which you've already listened to. So now you're going to move to a focusing video, which is about 17 minutes, and a time management video, which is about 10 minutes. These are very, very, very important because especially with online classes, it just is really a challenge to keep your schedule open and yet disciplined enough to get all of your work done, because this is just one course that you're taking. Okay, so this one on focusing, a student came to me at the end of the semester last semester, and I thought the person was going to say, oh, I just love this essay that I did, da, da, da. It was an A student. But instead she said, you know, that really, she said, I've watched it several times because it really does help me clear my mind. And I've used it several times, especially when I try to go to sleep. I need to turn the spotlight off in my brain. And that's what this young man tells you to do. It's really good. So as you're watching the focusing video and as you're watching your time management, you need to take notes, okay? Upload your typed notes or pictures of the notes to respective links below. So you've got a choice. You can handwrite your notes, that's fine, or you can type your notes, and that's also fine. So go ahead and when you're finished with your handwritten notes, you may have to take several snapshots. You will upload those snapshots here to the focusing notes, okay? And then time management, either typed or snapshots of your handwrittens, they go here. Okay, so again, due on the 23rd is your focusing video with notes. All I'll see is your notes, your time management notes, and those 3 Mind Tap exercises that I told you to go over. Okay? Let me move on. I think we're almost finished, so you're going to be happy about that. One more thing that I wanted to share with you. And again, if you have any problems, we're not going to be using Blackboard Collaborate, so I'm actually going to hide that. You won't see it on yours. Let's go up to, yeah. Okay, so that's your orientation. Again, this is what it looks like. It tells you what all of your, and it gives you the links for the notes. Okay. All right, then I can't put Blackboard on this down here. So you'll have to get out of Unit 1 orientation and go to discussion board to do that. So what you have is you've got discussion board and introduction. You also have the grammar exercises on Mind Tap. Those are the first things that you need to do. We will eventually have a quiz over your syllabus, so do go over that. Make sure that you understand, but we won't have that this, maybe next week, but not this week. The last thing that I wanted to show you is you'll have to go to eConnect to find it. If you have Microsoft Word on your computer, wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm glad that you do. Okay, but for those of you who don't, I need for you to pay attention to this. Now, I'm on my eConnect page. I'm going to go to online tools. I'm going to scroll down to view more online tools. Okay, there are all kinds of things here that you may not have been aware of that are at your disposal, but the one that I really would like to show you is Microsoft Word. So that's part of your tuition. So you don't have an excuse that, well, miss, I don't have Microsoft Word. Yeah, you do. If you're a student at Dallas College, you do. Now, when you're taking notes, we'll go to the MLA thing when we're doing our papers, but right now you've got an option. If you decide to type your notes on those 2 videos, you can go to a blank document, put your name on it, and all of these different things. I'm not going to make you do the header quite yet. You can do that, that's fine. Or it actually has a template for you for notes. So, or you could go to general notes. Now that's just for this assignment. When we start writing papers and essays, this does not apply. So let's say that you are saying focusing notes. Okay, so if you want to, it's already set up, or I'm sorry, maybe I should have done that. Hold on. Okay, so you could just start here and just start saying, this man is a monk or something like that. And then da, da, da. But more importantly, give me substantive information. What is he saying? How is he illustrating the brain? And you know, that's another thing. You can draw pictures if you want to on the handwritten note. I don't know how you would do it on the typed. You could always print it and put all of that information on there with by hand and then send it as a PDF, however you want to do it. But sometimes it helps people to draw out what they've learned. Anyway, and I believe that there are some illustrations in that one. Now, I really would, whatever you're doing, if your name is Tony Wilson, I'd make that smaller. And this is a good time to talk about all of your work will be in Times New Roman 12. So you'll go to Times New Roman. Oop. And you'll go to 12. Okay, and I would like to center my title only. Okay, and then whatever, probably go down another deal. All right, and then do your notes and turn them in. Now, let me show you something. When it comes time to saving it, go to File, because this is where kids kind of mess up. Go to Save As. Okay, you have got all kinds of options. You can download a copy to your computer. This will go in my downloads. Okay. Okay, so then I would go File, Save As, and then I would name it whatever I want to, Focus Notes. And I would probably just put it in my documents and I would save it and I'm done. Okay, you can do that. The thing that I don't want you to save it as is a PDF. And that's especially download a copy to your computer as an ODT file. I would just do download a copy. Then once it's in your computer, once it's in the downloads, then you save it, give it the name you want to give it, and you put it in a folder where you can pull it out and upload it. So what I would actually do then, when I'm finished with that, let me go back over to eCampus. Let's say I'm done with those notes. Okay, you won't, I'm sorry if I'm confusing you because I've got a bunch, just don't pay attention to the other classes that I've got. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go back to Unit 1, and then where do you upload it? Well, you upload it here. You go to Focusing Notes, and then you just put browse your local files, and I put mine in Documents. And sure enough, there it is. I click on that, I open it, and I submit it, and it's done. Okay, you'll do that for each one of them. So I need all of them. If you should type them, they need to be in Microsoft Word. Okay, I think that's it. I'm sure that you're tired. If you have any questions, let me know. I would be interested in seeing if perhaps, so if you would email me and let me know when a good time is, I could set up a virtual meeting every week at night, during the day, whenever you want me to. Just, I can always do a one-on-one with you, but if we can meet as a class, that would be great. Just let me know what works for you, because you probably have jobs, got other things that you need to do. Is there a good time where at least 5 of us could come together and talk about things in a live meeting? Just email me and let me know your thoughts on that. Have a great week. I look forward to hearing from you, from reading your discussion board pages and getting to know you. Have a great week and stay well. Bye.